Thank you. So tonight I want to talk to you guys about what's in your secret sauce. And before I begin, I want to ask you one question for you to ponder. Does everything you think about, do you believe it? Everything you think, do you actually believe it? So part of the questions that I asked myself was, how did I get here? And I had to go back to being a little girl, 6, 7 years old, and I lived in a middle class, predominantly black neighborhood, and yet my parents sent me to the out of neighborhood, predominantly white, Grace Chapel Lutheran School, okay? So here I am, a little black girl named Shaquan. Yes. And so when I went to school, I had challenges fitting in, really getting my secret sauce to flow on everyone. I didn't belong to the same church that my classmates belonged to, so they had things to talk about. And then when I came home, the neighborhood kids, we didn't have anything to talk about because they would discuss everything that was in school. So I really subjected myself to a lot of judgment and a lot of rejection at a very early age. Yet I still had this flavor to me where I was able to attract people and really come and build healthy relationships. Yet that shame and that judgment really kind of mouthed my sauce down. And it wasn't until I was an adult and actually dating my now husband that I realized, what's in my sauce? What am I missing where I'm not able to connect with people and I'm really stuck in a position of feeling this judgment and this rejection? So I said to myself, I need to do something to create the type of marriage and the type of win-win relationships that I need in order to be successful in all areas of my life. So back to that question, do you really believe everything you think? How do I create a secret sauce that helps me to challenge what I believe about myself and about others to where I can really flow and I can be who I am and who I was created to be? So would you like to know how I created that sauce?
Yes.
Absolutely. All right. So first step is check your BS. Ooh, BS. So I say BS stands for belief system or whatever. Yes. Or whatever else comes to mind, okay? Your BS or your belief system, we can get stuck in that until we get to a place where we are thinking things that may not necessarily be true. So think about it. When you believe, whatever you believe, it's usually something that you were told or taught, something that you've experienced, or something that you assume. So we must be mindful when you're creating your sauce that you really dig into that, really check your facts and information to make sure that someone didn't just tell you something and you ran with it, or if someone really gave you that experience to where you can really dig into that BS, dig into that and challenge what you believe so that when you're creating your sauce that you're going to pour over everybody, right? And I'm going to tell you a little bit more about what that sauce means, that you can make sure that you're very authentic to who you were created to be, okay? The next thing is to trust your truth, okay? Sometimes we fall into a space where we are unable to really see the truth of who God created us to be. So one thing is to know the difference between true and truth. Okay? True is something that you get off of your experiences. True can change. Something can be true today and not true tomorrow. Okay? Truth, however, cannot be changed. Truth is where your heart and your mind meet to be within the will of God, which allows you to show up in your most authentic self. So when you're getting ready to create your sauce, make sure you throw that truth in there, because one thing that I know for sure is shame will isolate you. It will pull you back and it will not allow you to be authentic. So that when you're creating relationships, you're really showing up as a representative. And you know, when you get ready to taste something, when you're serving your sauce to somebody, and you don't put all the right ingredients in it, and then you become rejected. So exactly what you thought, right, begins to happen. And as we know, thoughts create feelings. Feelings create emotions. Emotions create actions. Can you guys say that with me? Thoughts create feelings. Feelings create emotions. Yes, and emotions create actions. Yes, so if you are unable to trust your truth, then your actions will follow. And do you see how that can kind of make your sauce a little bitter? Yeah, you serve it to somebody and they say, I don't want it. Yeah, so we must be mindful of that. And then the last thing is really choosing your attitude, knowing that you have a choice. So beginning to think when you come to that place and say, hey, I don't know if I can really show up authentically, and I don't know if this is the relationship that I want to be in, and I don't know if I can really do this. You know, again, you have to choose your attitude, okay? Make sure that you know that you have a choice in how your thoughts create your feelings create your emotions, and your emotions create your actions, right? All right, so now we've got those three things. So what's in your sauce? All right, you need 4 areas of self that you're going to sprinkle in there. First, we start with your self-love. Self-love is going to take care of your physical aspect of you. So when you're thinking about your secret sauce, which is a unique combination of things that you do to influence and attract like-minded people. Okay, so keep in mind, that's what your secret sauce is. So when you are in a position and you are in a position of self-love, you are really checking yourself, making sure that you are physically connected so that when you dip that into the sauce, people can get that. They can see that self-love. And then you end up teaching people how to treat you. Okay? The next one is your self-discipline. This is your spiritual area. This is your spiritual, we're going to put that spiritual thing on it. And for me, my belief is in God, and I'm very strong in that belief. Whatever your spiritual connection is for you, you want to make sure that you tap into that and that you're able to sprinkle a little bit of that in your sauce as well. The next one is going to be your self-control. This is your emotions, okay? You have a responsibility to respond in a way that is most authentic to you, that helps you get to your end goal or your end result. So we must be mindful when you are in that position of sprinkling your self-control over there, that you are checking with your emotional side as well. And then the last one is your self-awareness, okay? This is your mental space. Again, having to trust your truth, checking your BS, and choosing your attitude really helps you to create that area of self-awareness where your mental capacity kind of steps in. And again, you're dipping all of that stuff, putting all of that in your sauce, so when you serve it or when people attempt to dip into it, you can say, I know my recipe. I'm very confident on my recipe. So then what do all of these do for you? They help you to create either what I say is your marriage mindset formula, which will help you in your marriage or in your intimate relationships, and helping you to create a formula that's sprinkled with your secret sauce where you know you've checked your BS, that you're trusting your truth, and that you're choosing an attitude that helps you create what trickles down to be win-win relationships, okay? So whether that becomes a professional or personal relationship, you're putting that sauce in there, it's very authentic to you, and you are really showing up to be the best you that you can be. So when I go back and think about that little girl who felt so much shame and isolated herself, or that girl that really stood in a place of judgment and really assumed what other people thought about her, or that little girl who felt so rejected that she didn't want to show up, I had to say to myself, if I don't choose me, who else will? And because I need to teach people how to treat me, I got to create a sauce that is going to wow them, okay? So today I want to challenge you to go back. Create your secret sauce. Serve it to people who want it, people who tell you and show you that they are interested in it, because it is truly your unique combination of the things that will help you to attract, manifest, and influence those like-minded relationships so that you can either create a healthy marriage mindset formula or a win-win combination that will help you exceed in all areas of your professional and personal life. All right, get the cooking, get those sauces together, all right?